Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Angela and I'm an angelic Arcturian starseed, and I'm here to transmit for you guys today a message about how to raise your vibration. I did a video on this when I very first started the channel, but I want to just kind of go over it again as well. I have a few that I'm just kind of redoing and updating because they're important messages, and I just want to make sure that it's the most update version of the message that I can give you. So when it comes to raising your vibration, it's not just one thing that you do that raises your vibration. First, you have to become aware of what vibration you're currently on, which for most of us, if we're just awakening or even if we're still in a 3D consciousness, we're probably vibrating on a pretty low frequency just because of the way society is and the world is, and so all the conditioning and programming and all the crazy stuff that goes on in 3D. So we want to kind of get a baseline of where we're vibrating at currently. Are we depressed? Are we anxious? Are we fearful? Or are we feeling good and positive and productive in our lives? So you have to gauge where you're kind of currently sitting at with your vibration, and from there you can begin to raise it. So what I did to raise my vibration personally, because after losing my mom and 3 narcissists, I was on an extremely low vibration. I was suicidal, depressed, stressed out financially, just suffering in a lot of different ways. When that's what woke me up. That's what brought me into spirituality, was all of the suffering that I endured. But it's something that you can overcome, and you can raise your vibration and get out of even the lowest, densest vibration. So what I had to do first, for me personally, I had to learn about the narcissist, because the narcissist was a big part of my story, and it was a lesson that was extremely painful for me to learn, and it took me a few times to learn it. So the first thing I had to learn was about the narcissist so that I could begin healing from the narcissist. And in healing from the narcissist, I was able to raise up my vibration enough to understand that I was an empath. And then once I started understanding empaths and that this was a thing and it has a name, and I started to understand that, then I just kind of followed the rabbit down the hole, and I learned all kinds of stuff. So I went knowledge seeking first, and I expanded my consciousness as much as I could. I wanted to learn about the nature of life, what happens when we die, what's the soul's purpose, like anything I could learn. I wanted to learn about aliens. I wanted to learn what all of this was about. So I went on a knowledge seeking mission, and I spent a few years seeking knowledge. And in doing so, I was able to expand my consciousness, which in turn raised my vibration. Then at the same time, I was also doing healing work and shadow integration. So I was working through the traumas, the abandonment wound, the narcissist wounds that are left on us, and childhood, inner child wounds, and integrating and healing my shadow. And that's really going to bump your vibration up the most of all of these things here that I'm talking about. Healing and doing shadow work is going to give you the greatest benefit when it comes to raising your vibration. So it's extremely important that we do the shadow work and shadow integration. If we don't, it will play out in all kinds of distorted ways, and we won't be able to get our vibration past a certain level until we drop those anchors that are our traumas, our false belief systems, and all of those things. They really act like anchors on our soul, and they'll keep us in a low vibration until we deal with those things. So you cannot skip shadow work and integrating trauma and fear, which leads me to the next part, which is fear. You absolutely want to learn how to stay out of fear frequency. You have to understand that fear is an illusion, that there is nothing to be afraid of. Danger is a totally different story. Danger is for our, we react to danger to survive, but fear most of the time is concocted in our minds by our own thoughts and belief systems. So we have to learn to overcome our fearful thoughts and belief systems and be able to take control of our vibration in the sense that we don't let fear come in and just totally rattle us and get us off track. We learn how to control the way we react and respond to fear in fearful situations, as well as fearful thinking. We also have to work on our thoughts, our mind, what we're thinking, what thoughts we're allowing to come in. If we are sitting here running negative thought cycles all day long of I'm unworthy, I'm not good enough, I'll never have what I want, I'll never make it, everyone's better than me, all of that, or I'm too scared, whatever it is, all of those negative thought cycle programs are going to keep your vibration low. So you have to learn to change your thinking from negative to positive. And that in itself is no easy task. I came from extremely negative thinking, extremely fearful thinking, and extreme thinking in victim consciousness. So I had a lot to overcome when it came to my thoughts, and I still have to practice every day, not going into self-defeating thought cycles, not going into fear, and not doing those things that are going to lower my vibration, because once you reach a higher vibration, you're going to want to hold it there because it's a really, really nice place to be. You're basically above the storm and things really don't bother you that much. It's very quiet, very peaceful, and you're able to have these just massively higher perspectives on reality, on people, on situations, on everything, and you're just able to see things really, really clearly. And the last thing I want to recommend when it comes to raising your vibration is getting rid of the toxic people in your life. If you have people like narcissists and energy vampires or in-laws or whoever it is that really makes you miserable and puts you in a really negative place, you want to try to avoid those people as much as possible. And if you can get rid of them, just get rid of them altogether, because they are not serving you. I don't care what they may say. Anyone who's making you feel bad about yourself, negative, putting you in a low vibration, is not serving you, and you really need to take control of that and get rid of these toxic people. So if you do all of these things, you create for yourself a spiritual practice, maybe meditating 20 minutes a day, maybe doing yoga, but create a daily practice for raising your vibration, where even if all you say is, today I'm only going to choose what someone who loves themselves would do. So whenever you're faced with a decision, and this is from Teal Swan, and I really love this, but she says every time you're faced with a decision, ask yourself, what would someone who loves themselves do? And then do it. And you'll realize how difficult that really is, and how much we deny ourselves what really makes us happy because of this or that or the other. So it's a daily practice. It requires a lot of self-awareness, but it's absolutely possible. And once you get there, you will never ever want to come back down again. It's a really great place to be. So I hope that helps you guys. And leave me a comment if you have any questions, and I'll see you next time.